This is Truth and Other Lies, Road to Sedition. On January 6, 2021, a demonstration in Washington, D.C. devolved into an assault on the U.S. Capitol building as hundreds of protesters-turned-seditionists pushed past barricades and police sentries to effect forced entry into the common areas and private offices of the Capitol. Did a peaceful protest succumb to the mob, or was this an insurgency planned in advance to stop the transition of power to Joseph Biden, the presumed ill-gotten gain of a stolen election? Embark on a journey of madness, deception, heroism, and futility on the road to sedition. I am Mark Jacobin, along with my brother James, and you're listening to Truth and Other Lies. The road to the Capitol assault, or the road to sedition as we're calling it, is a multi-lane superhighway converging from different origins. There are on-ramps in QAnon, cult-like behavior, cognitive dissonance, metacognitive dysfunction, and mass hysteria. Although the end result was the same, there were several groups in D.C. that day, each with their own motivations and desired outcomes. The invasion of January 6th has been compared to the protests conducted during the confirmation hearings of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. While the activities of some participants in both events rise to the level of sedition and should be prosecuted as such, the events of January 6th go beyond interference with government and bear the markings of a coup d'etat, an overthrow of government. James, did we see an attempted coup at the Capitol on January 6th?
Well, the short answer is no, but I would agree with you that this was a super highway of dysfunction that led to the storming of the Capitol. A coup, Mark, 99% of the time, a coup has to have another word in front of it, and that's military. Because in the modern world, it's very hard to displace one government with another unless you have the backing of the military and have the tanks and the machine guns, and you're arresting government officials, and then the military seizes power, such as what happened in Myanmar shortly after that. So no, it was not a coup. It was not a coup. It was a riot. They were definitely intending to stop the certification that day. The best they could have hoped for was to delay it, but to put the word coup on there would lead the audience to believe that it was a much more organized, severe event that included military support.
Okay, but I didn't say military coup, I said coup, which is an overthrow of government. So
right.
The intention was to halt the certification to send the vote back to the states for a recount, with the hope that that recount would result in a different president. So if this is done outside of the rule of law to change government, how is that not a coup?
Well, one, if the certification wouldn't have been stopped, it wouldn't have been sent back to the states. There's no constitutional lever to make that happen outside of the Supreme Court, which had already said no to this. But when you say coup, 99% of the time, an element and an ingredient of coup is military. So it really was just a massive, massive protest turned into a riot to disrupt an official government proceeding, which is where you could bring the term sedition into it. But as far as coup, I don't think it is, because coup in the dictionary says a change of government outside of the process established by that nation's constitution, but it never happens without a military component.
Okay, but nobody's saying military coup. It's a civil coup, which does happen.
Rarely. I can't think of one off the top of my head that's happened in our lifetime.
And it did have aspects of violence, right?
Yeah, there was the guy with the zip ties.
The intention was to affect a change in government. So I'm going to stay on record that this was an attempted coup. We'll take a break and come back with Road to Sedition. JacobinBrothers.com. If you enjoyed this preview of Truth and Other Lies, visit JacobinBrothers.com to gain access to the entire episode and the Jacobin catalog. JacobinBrothers.com.